Hey there, everybody. High Vibe Oracle here with a reading for you guys. What's going on? I hope today has been good for you so far. If you are new to the channel, welcome in. Glad to have you here. If you are returning, welcome back. It's good to see you again. Hope things have been well for you. These are general readings, so not everything's going to resonate, and that's fine. If just leave it there for somebody else. If you do find that there's something that does resonate, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Love to hear from you guys. If you're interested in a personal reading with myself, my information is in the description box below. And if you're interested in any of the bracelets that I sell, I make them myself, and they are cleansed and charged. Oops, I'll grab that one before they get sent to you. And my Etsy page is in the description box below. But let's go ahead and get right on into it. We already have Coyote Spirit here. Trust in divine detours. Looks like we are hitting a couple of roadblocks along the way toward our goals. And I just see that it is something that is absolutely important to you. It seems like a detour, but it truly is just the next step in your path. Not every path is a straight line. A lot of our paths kind of twist and turn and make some really inexplicable pit stops before you get to where you're heading. So just kind of go with the flow, I'm hearing here, because there are going to be a lot of things kind of coming at you from left field. But just trust that those things are there for a reason. And when you come out of it, you will definitely be able to see the path in front of you. It looks like there's a lot of clarity coming in at the end of this detour. So as this thing goes through, you're going to kind of see something that you did not notice before, and it's finally kind of bringing it into light for you. We also have Melancholy Hill. So this might be something that is kind of going to throw you for an emotional loop. Don't try and like press it down. Don't try and suppress what you're feeling during this time. When you are going through what you're going through, please be aware that it's always good. It is always right to sit with that emotion and to understand it and then let it pass. Because when we suppress our emotions, when we kind of like push it down, all it really does is fester and grow until it becomes something that we cannot ignore anymore, and something just really kind of like explodes within us. And that's the last thing that we need here. And then we also have Take It Easy. Rest and relax. Yeah, I'm definitely hearing that you're being paused for right now. And I feel like this pause is going to actually be frustrating. As pauses normally are, this is going to be a very frustrating situation for you. And they're telling you to don't think of it that way. Really do just see this and take that opportunity to really breathe and do something else for a change and kind of focus on yourself. This is very much a focus on yourself, to trust that whatever it is that is happening to you right now is happening for a reason. And that when this is all said and done, you're going to be so very aware of what is going on with yourself, like internally, your situation, your environment. A lot of that is going to come into the forefront. I feel like things are just kind of going to move very, very smooth for you once you do that. I've got the Star, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Devil. So absolutely, this is a time for you to really just take care of yourself, to really give yourself that, like, I'm just looking at the Star and I'm looking at the moonlit bath, and I'm thinking of this rest and this feeling of rejuvenation after something that was kind of bonkers. I feel almost as if what's going on here is you've been kind of been forced into this detour and you really can't stand it. Like you hate its guts. You really hate its guts. And it really is telling me right now that what you really have to do is just kind of focus on you, to give yourself that self care and to get out of your head. I feel like there's a lot going on mentally inside of you that you start talking negatively about yourself. That if you have any bad habits, you may be more prone to thinking about going back to them. And this is definitely not the time, not when you've worked so hard and you've gotten so far. This is definitely not the time for you to go back to your old ways. So it really is about being optimistic about the future and being present in yourself, present in your body. I'm hearing do some exercising, do some yoga, just do something that gets you moving, something that gets you out of your headspace and into your physical space. And to really just don't sweat it. Whatever it is that you're thinking, it's smaller than you think it is. Like whatever this huge, terrible situation that you may be thinking about, or whatever this inconvenience or these doubts or something, it's you making a mountain out of a molehill. And what you need to do is recognize that you might be overreacting a little bit, and that's okay. Now that we know that we're overreacting, we can stop. So that is what I am hearing here with these cards. Let's see, thank you so much for that one. That one just jumped right on out. Page of Cups. We're going to get some lucky breaks here very soon. I do see here that this is definitely the time for you to kind of look into your heart space, look into your intuition, to really connect yourself with your higher self, with your spirit guides here, only because I just see how she's looking at this cup and how she's kind of like, look at the way like the wave, the little splash is, and she's just really enjoying it, and she's kind of just kind of, it feels almost like as if she's absorbing energy from it. So take some time, and especially with it right here between the Star and the Queen of Pentacles, just take some time and just do some kid stuff, do some childish things. Doodle. Doodling is fun. And just kind of detach from things for a while and just focus on taking care of yourself. And you're going to find some really cool things are going to start happening for you when you start to do that. Once you really start to put yourself first in this situation, like on a mental and emotional standpoint, putting yourself first is going to be very helpful. The Six of Cups is telling me that there are definitely some past situations that are probably on your mind that you need to work through. That it's not as bad as you think it is. I feel like when it comes to our pasts, things that we've done as kids, as teenagers, because when you're young, when you do things, it's so you're so certain that people are going to remember that until the end of time. And it's not true. It's really not true. Most of them don't even remember it like at the end of the school year or the end of that semester. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you're having some issues with the past, it's okay to really kind of sit with those past situations and kind of work your way through it. Um, and just remember that, like, looking to the past is a good thing. When you start to kind of obsess over it, that's where the problem lies. And I feel like there is an obsession over things that were done in the past, things that you may have done in the past, or just like past embarrassments that were just part of your life. And then you're like, ugh. And it won't leave your head. It's just like in this headspace, and it keeps repeating itself. It's like you clicked on the loop function And so the scene keeps on replaying over and over in your head. And you're definitely being told to stop doing that and really start to pay attention to the good things that are happening now in your life. I feel like the more that you sit with your past and recognize that it is the past, and then you can really start to take a look at where you are now and kind of compare like the person you were back then to the person you are now, and really kind of find that gratitude and find that joy that you have for the present moment. I feel like a lot of this is just moving on. If you're stuck on something, it is definitely time to move on and trust that the reason why you're kind of going through all of this, why things seem to be not working out, or things seem to be constantly being in an like constantly being interrupted, is really because there are still things that need to be resolved. And so this is your sign to take some time and work that mess out, because things are going to be fantastic for you. It's just that there is just this hiccup inside of your mind that is kind of keeping you from that next level. So let's talk about what is going to happen. Let's talk about the future. Let's talk about the future. What happens at the end of this detour? What happens when we start to see clearly? What are we seeing clearly? Other than the present, once we start to get to that stage in this process, what do we have to look forward to, Spirit? What do you have to look forward to? Thank you so much. I've got the Queen of Blades. I see you cutting things away. I see you being fair, and I see you being very honest with yourself and really taking stock of what you have in your life and what you need to get rid of. What are things that kind of bring up these reactions that just no longer serves you anymore and you need to get rid of. So the Queen of Blades is definitely telling me that you are going to be getting rid of all of those things. The Ace of Blades, more clarity, more cutting things away, more of a I'm seeing, so like the Ace of Blades also is like a victory. So I do see that things are starting to click together. I do see success in the Ace of Blades. So I do see you making the strides that you need once you start this process to get to your goals. So your goals are going to be accomplished at the end of this. Is like no more details, no more detours. I mean, once you get through this, that's it. Like we're heading straight for the goal line. One more card. One last card. What do we have to look forward to at the end of this detour, Spirit? What do you have for us? What do you... Okay. I said one, but we're taking all of them. Okay. 8 of crystals, the Fool, and the 5 of crystals. That's actually fantastic. So what I am seeing here is once we finally get to this, because we have the 10 of blades, which is the end of a cycle, right? And we have the ace of, like, the 10 of cups, which is the end of a cycle. And then we also have the ace of blades, which is the beginning of a cycle. And then we have the Fool, which is the ultimate beginning, the ultimate new beginning. I feel like once we finish this, we are quickly being kind of ushered into a new era. Like you're starting to get into my I don't give a era. And I start seeing with the 5 of crystals, I do see there is this fight inside of you when this is done. This idea of like I can do whatever. Like the world is my oyster. Like I see here that this is definitely not the end of something, but it's also the beginning of something completely new, completely different. I feel like this is where your new life starts. So once we get all this done, once we start kind of working ourselves out, working out our pasts, doing whatever inner child work or shadow work that we have to do, and accepting what has happened, and in some cases forgiving ourselves for what has happened, that's when we start moving forward with a clear mind and a clear conscience, and this idea of, you know what, I've gone through worse. Bring it on. The Five of Crystals is telling me, bring it on, because I'm ready to go for it. So it's such a beautiful, like, it's aggressive, but in such a positive and affirming way that it really does just, it makes me happy. It makes me happy inside to know that this is the next step, that we're basically being told that we're clearly going into our new life with the strength and courage to basically see anything through. Like we're able to handle anything that happens from here on out. And I feel like that's a beautiful message for you guys to leave with, that no matter what is happening right now, you have everything you need to make out all right and to make out better and stronger than you were before. Okay, so that is your reading. Like I said, if this resonated for you, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. If you want something more personal into this and would like a personal reading with myself, my information for my website is in the description box below. And then if you're interested in any of my bracelets, these are available on my Etsy, and that is in the description box below. I would probably recommend in this situation, let's see, and maybe this one, no, just these two. So the self-love bracelet, and then my anti-anxiety, anti-stress bracelet. Those are probably the ones I recommend in this situation. And they are currently in the Etsy shop and in stock. So go ahead, take a look at those. And that is it for me. So thank you so much for being here and taking the time to be with me here in this space. I love you guys so much. You guys could be anywhere else on the interwebs. We decided to be here, and that means so much to me. So until my next reading, take care of yourselves.